13 Mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
Driver of the number 5 Kiker Motorsports Camry. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing TV.
With Rockingham Speedway. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Timothy Peters, driver of the number 17 Toyota NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing. Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing. I'd like to welcome everybody to Let's Talk Racing tonight. We've got Joe Scarbrough, Stephen Durbin, and myself back in the background. Well, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Let's Talk Racing, hosted by PC Doctors. Roger Brehm here. Thanks for having us. Thanks for the invite.
Okay, would like to go over a little bit of sad news this morning. A friend of ours, Pat Patrick, used to run Grand Stock out at Langley Speedway, was killed in a car accident this morning. Apparently, they believe he had a possible heart attack while he was driving and flipped over his rollback, and he is now racing upstairs with Dale Earnhardt Sr.
tragic event, and our wishes and our deepest sympathies go out to the Patrick family. The tragic event, great loss for the Langley family. And I know Pat was very involved in Langley Speedway, and we'll miss him. But moving on from there, what a action-packed weekend of racing it was. We had the World 600, we had the Indy 500, we had USAR cars at Langley. Monaco Grand Prix. Did Rolex run? I don't think Rolex ran. Somebody had a weekend off. They're this weekend. Oh, it's VIR this weekend, Rolex Series. And what was your racing venture for the weekend? Did we park in front of the couch? Did you go out and get hot and nasty with the rest of us? Or?
I was still working Saturday. Well, Friday we got back Saturday, and then I got back in time to go to Langley for the night. And then Sunday, I pretty much sat down from the couch 7:30 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, watching all three straight through.
And just raced it out. It's great because I only caught bits and pieces. I did manage to catch the end of the Indy 500.
Which was the exciting part.
Oh yeah, I watched like the last 30 laps, and Danica was out front leading and running out of fuel, and everybody was really playing the gas while I was staying there. And
that hurt me watching that last lap.
yeah, it was like the Cinderella story, the rookie, the National Guard car on Memorial Day weekend, and ooh, is that a hard hit? Oh, that's one that
I told my roommate, he was getting excited too. Honestly, he's not a big race fan, but he still likes to watch it. He knew how big it was for a rookie to lead it and get and win it. And so he was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a big deal." And I told him he has to finish this lap. He's a rookie. His nerves are going crazy.
Oh, I'm
being
sure.
Extra careful. He gave a little too much room in turn 4.
And that's the Indy 500. I mean, Trevor Bain won a Daytona 500 as
Yeah.
a rookie. And I mean, that's tremendous. That's the Super Bowl stock car racing. But the Indy 500 it's the race. It's the race on the planet. It's
the
everywhere.
100th one too.
Oh, is it the 100th one? I missed that.
The 100th Indy 500.
I must have announced that on like 31 laps before the end.
Yes.
What a fantastic show it was. Tony Kanaan made an incredible charge from the back, and Wellen just plugging along, being consistent. And sometimes you go out and you get the race, and sometimes the race comes to you. But I mean, as a driver, you make that kind of mistake, and does it shatter you, or does that build your resolve for the next time? Does it really drill in that focus to never do that again?
You could tell at first it was really bugging her. Like it would bug me for a while. It would live with you, but at the same time, you know what to do next time. You know not to make that mistake again. You'll make sure you do everything.
Well, we live and learn. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you need to do
They
something
pointed out that
different, and
most people would have, since he had a big enough lead, most people would have backed off and got off the corner first before they passed the lap from him. But you're not thinking about it. You're leading the Indy 500.
Right, when you know, lap cars all the way down the bottom, there was a groove there. Similar situation in Langley myself the other night. You know, lap car looked like he was staying down, last lap, nothing to really lose, nothing to gain. Oh, he's leaving enough room. I went up there, and no wall we went. I had a little help there. You know, accidents happen. That's what racing's all about. Which was I believe the third place car from the USAR race said the same thing. That's what racing is. I don't think I'd have done it that way, but that's the way it goes. But you know, that's a tough one because you know I'm sure that's one that regardless of being a rookie or not, you'll never forget that time you're coming off of 4 checkers waving, fans on their feet.
National Guard,
Memorial Day.
And everything's perfect.
And the wall just jumps right out in front of you.
Snakes the tire right out from under you.
But at least he kept his foot to the floor and dragged it across the second, which is still a phenomenal feat.
I honestly thought he won it first. I thought he had it, and then they said Dan Weldon knows. I didn't know who the second place car was, so I thought he still had it.
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting there. I said, as soon as I see him hit the wall and the car was staying on there, I said, floor the booger, floor it. At least it's like, you know, when you take a NASCAR game and you're racing and no damage, you can run that sucker down the wall as hard as you want.
I hear you. Raj, are we everything going fine with the broadcast? I had someone mention that we may be having a slight technical difficulty.
We had a little bit of sound issue, but I think it's dialed in right now.
That's actually my girlfriend, Deborah Surek of Timeless Images. By the way, she was out at Langley Speedway. If you check out the Timeless Images website, she's got some wonderful behind-the-scenes shots of pit road USAR races, and kids running around, just capturing the moment kind of thing back there. So check out her site.
one of the things that was strange, getting back to Pat from earlier, ran into him Saturday at the track, talked to him for a little bit, and the next morning I'm going out to get breakfast for my wife and myself, and who should I run into but his wife? It was like, this is weird. But
Yeah,
just
that's
one of them things. It just,
you know, a terrible tragic.
I know that's way out
loss.
of context.
No, but
it
you know,
just-
it's still fresh in our memories, and you know, it's a brand new event. It was just this morning. So
I've got lots of good stories about Pat. He used to be really good sized guy, and his nickname was Fat Pat. I remember.
affectionately.
Yeah, I mean, and one of the other guys on one of the other teams that I helped out was Big Fat Ed, and
These guys ate well.
yeah, and there was one night we had a issue with when I was running my late model. I had a throttle stuck open while I was diving underneath him.
Well, that's always bad news.
And let's just say he ate between turns 3 and 4, and I basically escaped without too much of a damage. And I got on the thing after we pulled in and fixed the broken springs, and I got on the radio. Says, make sure somebody goes down there and says something to him. Mike Connors is not a nice guy, and you know, I've had some issues with him before, you know, and so I figured somebody talked to him because I mentioned it 2 or 3 times while we were racing the 100-lap race. And so at the end of the 100-lap race, we pull in. I pull in where I'm supposed to be at and start pulling down the window net. And all of a sudden, here's somebody's hands trying to punch me out. And it was Mike Connors. Needless to say, the officials grabbed him and jerked him out. I mean, when you come inside a cockpit trying to swing at somebody, you ain't gonna hit nothing but a helmet or tubing or whatever. And all
Yeah, there's not a lot of good fighting from inside the
all
cockpit.
you gotta do is grab the guy's arms and shove him up against the roof, and he ain't gonna do nothing except piss him off. So anyway, the officials grabbed him, and then all of a sudden another pair of fists came in.
You were popular.
I was a popular guy, and it turned out to be Mike Connors' father. Okay, so anyway,
A family affair.
yeah, they were keeping
Did
it in
Mom
the
get
family.
involved at any point in time? Take a couple of cracks at you?
No, at this point in time, Big Fat Ed hopped in the left window and he says, "I'm gonna sit right here. Nobody's gonna get to you." And Pat stuck his head in on the other side. "I'm gonna sit in the doorway over here. Nobody's gonna mess with you over here." And they sat there. I sat in the car, and we watched what looked like the good old Western brawl in the saloon.
See what you
Happened
started?
right in front of me. I only had 3 or 4 guys, but there was 25, 30 people fighting out there. And he only had a few guys on his team. I mean, I had a lot of friends, but goodness. So I mean, there's lots of good memories, fun things like that, you know, and it's, you know, I'm sure when everything is said and done, you're going to enjoy the celebration of everything.
Well, and that's at any time of tragedy like this, it's very hard to absorb and get over, but you really need to celebrate the life of the individual and the good times and stories exactly like that. And then, you know, that's what we all hope to be remembered as, you know.
Oh, yeah.
As the good deeds.
I could keep running them
Not
off.
the
And
guy that stuck the throttle that night and caused it all.
I mean, I could sit here and keep feeding stories about him and around the track, and we could probably fill up this hour and a half easily.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be enough.
He's done a lot of good for a lot of people, and my hat's off to him. And Connie and the kids, my heart goes out to them.
Yeah, it's not. You really can't put it into words. Hopefully the Langley family will get together and help out in any way that we can and do what we can because it's a tragic loss.
Okay.
Tragic loss. You can't even put something like that in context with the loss. And going back to what we were talking about, turn 4, checkers waving, the rookie, the guard, Memorial Day weekend, blammo. Turn 4 fence.
The other headline,
Ouch!
so I know you missed most of the race, but the other headline, they had a lot of pit stop issues. People not getting tires on all
Wheels
the way.
falling off. Yeah, I caught the clips. And
3 or 4 people had their tires fall off going around the racetrack or down pit road.
Now, did they change something on the cars? Did they change the
Not
hub
that I
system
know
or
of.
something?
It's
I remember
more
when they
just-
changed hubs way back in the day, and wheels were falling off all over
Yeah,
the
it's
place.
one
They
big
dropped the
lug.
jacks,
That's
4
it.
wheels would
It's
fall
the
off.
same car they've had, and they just got antsy.
Did they make some rule changes? Because it seemed like the pack really stayed a lot closer together.
The only rule they changed was the double foul restart.
Yeah,
That
they
was,
did.
that was the first
and that was
race
it.
that had double foul restarts, and it made it a lot more exciting on restarts.
Yeah, it wasn't the Indy 500 of days past where
Yeah, we just
the
let it
leader's
go
on lap
and-
150, seconds on 142,
Yeah.
and as soon as they pit, it swaps. Yeah, it was just a very hard race to follow
Well,
like that.
they also have the ability to give the boost. I forget how many times they can do that.
Which is-
Past 15 times.
That's
Yeah.
something I think came out of like the
Year, two,
BMW
2
spec division, Formula BMW, something like that, where they had
They added that 2 or 3 years ago to the Indy cars, so.
X amount of boost. Yeah, I don't know if that works for me at Indy.
And Monaco.
I'd be coming on the back straight on lap 1. I'm out, but I'm out front.
The Formula 1 cars have something similar. They were using it at Monaco. And like, that's one of the smallest, narrowest tracks you can possibly think about. I can't imagine using it.
Well, when they come out of the tunnel,
Mhm.
just shortly right after that is when they would get into it, because you have that long, slow curve to the front stretch
Yeah.
where the starting grid is, and then and they only get 15 seconds, I think, to use it or something
Yeah,
like that too.
That's a tight racetrack.
I love that track.
Yeah, it was Demolition Derby Express on that one. I mean,
Oh yeah, I'm
It's
sure.
better than last year's.
Those cars.
I mean,
they're delicate. You know,
that wasn't a Formula One. That was Enduro Formula One style, is what I called it.
Last year they had 8 or 9 cars left in the Formula 1 race. And this year they had a few more, but still.
I think what 12 to 15 or something like that.
It's
Not
not
much
dramatic
more.
when you tear one of them up. They're open wheel to begin with. You know, when
Yeah.
you get on a stock car race, they start really evolving, or devolving, regressing. You know, turning to modifieds, and then I don't know, wagons with the wobble.
Jeez.
Did Sebastian Vettel end up winning that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
So he won
Sebastian
from the
Vettel.
pole. I figured he did. I didn't
Good
get
place
see
to be
the-
on a tight little track like that. Out
Yes.
front all day. Yeah.
That's what they said. That was such a big deal for the pole that they had people in qualifying just pushing it. I love watching Formula 1 qualifying just for that reason. You see them actually work it and
Well, they've got a very interesting system of qualifying.
I like
too,
that system.
Which I
Yeah.
don't have 100% grasp of it, but it's several rounds of
It's
qualifying.
three rounds qualifying. Round 1, basically, if you don't get in the top 15, you don't continue on. You
Right.
get the pole. So you're a 15th or under, you're done. Then round 2 is they lock out the top 10.
Right.
So you're 10 through 15, you're done. Then round 3 is basically, first through 10, they go all out for the pole to try to get it.
Right, and then you have to start the race with the tires you use in qualifying.
Yeah.
Well, the last set of qualifying tires you use, so the guys, as you put softer compounds on to try and nab the pole,
They
you
won't last
may
longer
hang yourself out to dry
in the race.
early
Yeah.
on in that race.
Exactly. The Indy 500, they did something. Well, they started last year, but they did something similar to that this year with their qualifying. They still had the 4 laps, the one warm, then the 4 laps, and they took the average of the 4, and that's how they ordered it. But after
Right,
everybody
right.
got one run through, they took the top 9 and had their own shootout. Like, everybody else is locked out. The top 9 were in their spots. They're at least 1 through 9. And they go out and run another session or another 4 laps. They try to get the pole because they offered $175,000 for first and 15 or 25
That's a pole
points.
award.
15, 25 points towards the championship for getting the pole.
Right,
So it made
right.
them push extra hard.
Made it
Well,
worth
and it
it.
adds to the show as well, because I mean,
Yeah.
I dropped a 4.
Penske helped that.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, when you got down to where it
was
got
was Penske? Yeah, it was Penske. No, it was Felix.
no, Andretti.
Ganassi.
What?
They ran out of fuel, both of their cars on their
Oh.
pole runs. Both cars had the pole. One ran out off of turn 2, and they didn't know that gas was taken out of the car. And then the second car,
Oops.
Scott Dixon, ran. Then he had the pole come off of turn 4. He ran out of gas. He still got second, but he would have had the pole.
And Dixon was in the hunt late in the race too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was in the run the whole race.
Did he had to make the late fuel stop, didn't he?
He was one of the ones that couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, then all the Andretti cars had troubles making it. That was a whole other story. I love Indy 500.
That's the race. I mean, that's
the
the
whole
race.
the whole entire thing is so much that works up to the race that makes it a big deal.
Well, they're at the track for like a month, I think.
Yeah, it's the whole month. And most of those, not most of them, but there's 40 cars trying to make it. Half of those cars were just that one race only. They're not normally running.
Right.
The season.
The big one.
They put everything into that race, and But if they don't make it, they just did all that for nothing.
That's it. Yeah, season's over.
Yep.
But you see a lot of teams will come out and drive through, the Daytona 500 or the Brickyard, things like that. Teams that don't normally race the full season and come out and take a shot at the big one. You know what I mean? But I've done that myself with, not at that level, but late model events. It's bounty hunting. You go out for the big race.
Which I can't wait until the Las Vegas race will happen at the end of the year. I don't know if you've heard about that.
No, I haven't heard anything about it.
They're offering $5 million to anybody that's not a regular IndyCar driver to beat them.
But we need to get to work.
Like from what I understand, Kyle Busch has mentioned doing it. I know Scott Speed's going to try, John, or I don't know about John Andretti, but a lot of the...
John Andretti, he's not a regular now, but I consider him a regular Indy guy. He spent seasons there.
There's a few guys that are not in there that are...
Interesting thing about John Andretti, he's the only guy, to my knowledge, that has won in NASCAR, NHRA, and Indy. He won a top fuel race back in the day. He ran, I remember the
season,
top partial season, but he won a national NHR race, and then Indy he won. I think he won a few races in Indy cars.
I was making a list too far back. I didn't follow him all that much back then. All I followed was Indy 500. You don't know.
Yeah, well, it's I don't know what it is. I don't know, it's probably me, but just the televised coverage doesn't seem to be quite as much of it.
They show it's all versus now. You got away. It used to be ABC, ESPN.
Right.
It's only versus that has it. So if you don't have versus, you don't see it.
I don't know. That's probably one of the high number channels.
For us, it's like channel 34 around here.
I'm in Charles City at the sticks. I have to rely on space for any type of communications. It's amazing. I'm 10 miles. Is Verizon listening? I'm 10 miles from an international airport and I can't get decent internet service. I gotta rely on satellite. Space.
Oh,
to get internet, my phone. Oh, call me my house phone sometime. Sounds like I'm on the satellite.
Oh goodness.
That's just one race. The 600 was a whole different.
The 600, I didn't catch any of the 600. I did catch some bits and pieces. Earnhardt Nation, I'm sure they're still slumming. Probably a lot of more. But whenever your guy, we've had those seasons where you just can't, or years even, where you just really can't seem to be one of the front running cars. Even when you do get close to something happens like that, you go, oh, you feel good about the fact that we did something today, we got there. No, you don't feel good about coming off a 4 checkers waving and, ooh, a red light. That's never a good feeling. But for that team that struggled for so long, you can go home with the feeling that, we did something here today and we came up,
it
a
wasn't
quarter mile short.
It wasn't just them in the right place at the right time either. They were up they started off not so good, but they were in the top 5 most of the race.
Right, they were there.
That was a good sign that they're getting, and they've been there throughout the season. It's just something would happen at the end where they wouldn't get the finish, or it would be somewhere between 8th and 12th, where it's no one really notices, but it's still a good finish.
Right. Well, and in a 43-car field, well, Earnhardt, a perfect example. He hasn't been running good. He's running in the teens usually. That's
not bad.
No, that's not. Statistically speaking, that's not. That's not bad.
There's a lot of guys that wish they were running that good.
There's guys that went home, and then there's 20-something, 30-something cars behind you. Running in the teens at that level of racing.
It's a brand new team again.
Look at our buddy Brian Keselowski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He's been going out there and
Andy Lally.
44.
Andy Lally.
44 cars out there,
and
he winds up being just that one that can't snag it.
Yep. I will have to say, if Andy's watching this, that was a great save to qualify.
I loved it.
He drifted around from beginning of turn 3 to the end of turn 4, completely sideways the whole way around.
It was just drifting.
I've seen him do that in an RX-8 as well.
That was awesome.
I tell you, the only thing was when he decided to lift off when he started slowing down.
Yes.
If he had kept on the gas, he'd have probably done a beautiful drift the whole way through, straight down and kept getting it.
He locked with the brakes at the very end, went up and just barely tapped the wall, but didn't do any damage to the car. But I was watching when that happened. I saw it go around. I was like, oh, it's going to be bad. And he caught it and just kept going. I was like, come on.
But this is going to be bad. You get the finger filter going on. You kind of cover up, you kind of peek through the fingers and lessen the impact.
God. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Well, let's hear a little something from a friend of ours out there.
Who we got, Ron?
Hi
Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle Safety Wear Butler built seats, bell helmets, hooker harness seat belts, number 94 at South Boston Speedway. Be sure to listen to Let's Talk Racing TV.
Welcome back. Oh, hold on.
Are we back or is she back?
Oh, she's still going here. I keep forgetting it buffers it into that. Welcome back.
Oh, we're back. We're back. Welcome back.
That was a quick break, you know?
That was a quick break. How about that? I didn't even know I left.
That's Natalie Sather. She drives late models out in South Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched her run.
Yep, she's been doing
We run
pretty
a
good.
couple modified races out there.
She's 19 in the national.
That's outstanding.
National rating.
Again, 19 at the national level. Come on. You know.
Yeah, out of
How many
2,000
competitors
cars.
in the national? Yeah. Yes, exactly. Exactly. You're up there.
So I mean that's like she's like second place in second in points at South Boston. So the second tier is what she's in.
Excellent.
So, which is cool.
Excellent. Now, she's only running South Boston?
Yep. Now she may be coming to run here. I think she's going to try to do the K&N race. So.
K&N race at Langley is June 18th, 15th?
Somewhere around there.
June-teenish.
I don't have it up. We can figure it out.
Actually, I found him on Facebook. A little story for you. The starter for the K&N E Series is Warren Alston. Warren Alston handed me my first checkered flag in New England Speedway back in 1991 in Stockholm.
Cool.
And then a funnier story was the following week I pulled into Victory Lane and he informed me that I was not the winner.
Oh.
To tell you that story,
What happened?
I'm running behind the leader, and I'm running behind. This is my second stock car race. I won the first one, little hard act to follow, you know. So I'm running right behind a friend of mine, Richie, and great race car driver. He's raced for many, many years. We had a lot of good battles, and we never had any hard feelings between us, and we changed numbers like 6 times a race. Anyway, we come off the turn 4, and I guess a lap car had spun down through the infield. So I kind of, looked to see where the car was, a big cloud of dirt, and as I went through, there was a flag waving. I thought it was the white. Apparently it was the checkered. Me being in my second stock car race, missed the white altogether. So I see Rick rolls past the line and puts his hand up and moves down. He broke. I got it. I went around and ran a lap, passed a few more lap cars, crossed the line. I'm in lap traffic. The checker's waving. So I crossed the line and the checker's going. I'm like, woohoo! 2 races, 2 wins. No, that wasn't him. I pulled up, all excited. Warren's like, you didn't win that. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go now.
Well, I'd rather
Oops,
do that.
my bad.
Mark Martin did when he pulled off.
Right, pull off waving to the fans with a white flag waving. Yeah.
So that's not as bad.
Now y'all apparently didn't have spotters.
We didn't have mirrors. We weren't even allowed mirrors. Quarter-mile oval New Egypt Speedway. This is back when it was paved up in New Egypt, New Jersey, right up by
New Jersey.
New Egypt, New Jersey.
Do you speak English?
I travel with the English. Yeah. Anyway, it's right up there by Fort Dix. They called it Central Jersey Speedway at the time. And it was a little quarter-mile oval, great track, lots of action. They raced 4 modifieds there. And, I mean, I grew up at that track watching the greats like Jozambeck and Evans and Bodine racing there long before they went on to other things. And it's just a great little track to race at. And I raced karts there, and they do all kinds of events and stuff. It's now, I think it's a 3/8 mile dirt now, or it's dirt. I think it's about 3/8.
Cool.
And you still get all of the big dirt mods and stuff, big names racing up there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of heritage there in that place.
Cool.
And my embarrassing moment is fortunately not in any of the history books as far as I know, but they're probably adding it now.
Somebody's got a camera.
We're gonna document this down really good. The first place that wasn't. Anyway, all right, let's get back on to what we were doing with the Cup Series and everybody else in the NASCAR Series, since we've already toured with the F1. And did we finish up enough with the F1?
Sure. Well, I believe. I mean, you could take any one of these and just talk about it to no end.
I mean, like I called him up on the phone. I said,
I was
"Yo,
glad Sergio Perez is doing better. So after his crash qualifying, that was pretty bad. He lost out of the tunnel, going down that hill, right in that braking zone. He's one of the 4 cars that got messed up. As soon as he hit the brakes, it turned right into the wall, and then he he had no control from there, and there's that barrier down into that hill. Just hit it.
There's no. I don't think you can spin a car out there and not destroy it.
Yeah. It's just the other guys were able to steal their car out of the way around the wall, or he was just straight sideways, couldn't do anything, and just drilled the wall that's right there. And he says the plan of, I guess, painting his legs, but they said that he should be back this week. And it wasn't anything serious. And they were worried about it for a while. It was really hard to hit.
Yeah.
I guess he wasn't unconscious for it.
You talking about the last wreck that brought up the red flag?
I didn't see that.
Oh, okay. Well, that one.
I tried looking that one up. I couldn't find it.
That one, he was the guy actually got knocked out.
Yeah.
But he apparently he came to as they were pulling him out and everything, and they checked him over. And last I heard, he was okay too.
Have you guys been to a Formula One race?
No, but I want to go in Austin
Yeah.
when they have it next year.
I mean, it just most racing.
I haven't left country yet. Okay.
Well,
I did.
I think they're racing. Is it Texas?
That's next year.
Supposed to have
They're
next year at
building
Texas.
the track now.
And they
That's my
did
hometown,
run
so.
Indy at some point.
They did run Indy, and then they didn't run it.
They didn't like the
last
course.
year.
It was extremely fast from what I got.
Yeah, they had a lot of issues. People were
Yeah, it was
high
just way
speeds.
too fast. But I mean, most racing really loses a sense of speed when you watch it on television. But when I watch a Formula One race on TV, I don't even catch the announcer. I just kind of sit there and awe like.
This is just
fast
not
forward.
even hitting anyone or around each other, just watching them onboard cameras, watching the turns just fly by like it's nothing.
Well, I always love the camera that's like at the end of the straightaway with the hairpin, and you're just watching the car come at you, and you're waiting for the big, the big brake wiggle and the flames belching out the exhaust, and they just off the screen, gone. Did he crash? No, that's how they go. They're that fast. And it's amazing. Even the in-car is just phenomenal to see how precise they are.
That's why I like
at that
Monaco,
speed.
because that speed is still there, and then you don't have the grass around you to take away the sense of speed.
Well,
it's the wall right there surrounding you. You just see.
Well, it's time and space, and
blind corners. And if you don't know the track, you don't know the track.
Well, and that's exactly people say 200 or 180 miles an hour. Whoa, that's fast. Well, yeah, it's fast, but when you're doing it at a place like Daytona.
It's a big track, and you've got lots of room.
You can relax. You can take a sip.
Trust
you
me.
can do things like that. 105 at Langley, it's all you can do. Don't blink. Don't blink.
Hold it. We got to 110 now. Come on.
What's that?
We got to 110.
110, 105, 110. I think we calculated modifieds like 105.
Now I tell you what, I can feel for Kyle Busch in a little bit. Okay, with his little 123 miles an hour. I tell you what.
Oh, no excuse.
Was
he on fire?
He wasn't the only one doing it.
No, he was not the only one doing it. Denny Hamlin had already texted it to him about go trying it out. He'd already been in the car. Okay.
Kyle got caught.
Kyle just hadn't been caught.
But you know what? What's more dangerous? Kyle Busch doing 100 and what?
28.
And a 45.
Well, the cop doing God knows what to catch him.
Yeah. I think it was more like got caught by Motorola.
Can you put a driver at least?
Probably, and was probably in something they handled better than that Crown Victoria.
The Lexus LFA, whatever, it's their high-dollar sports car.
Badass one.
Yeah. Now the fastest I've ever gone in a production car was 180 miles an hour.
What production car was that?
It was a GTX, 1970 Plymouth GTX.
How'd you know it was doing 180?
The speedometer.
That's what they wrote on the ticket.
Speedometer went to 260.
Really?
And I had a whole lot more room left on the gas, and I knew it.
And this was what car?
A 19 Plymouth GTX. It had a high performance 440. Had the
which is very similar to the Roadrunner and
basically like the Roadrunner. Did not have the real tall one. Had the short spoiler.
Right.
Had the ground effects package in it.
You don't steer a car like that at that speed.
That's about right. But I mean, thank goodness for the things along the sides there.
And you need a 3-lane highway just to keep it in the lane.
I mean, it was really neat if somebody come up beside me, because I mean, this was a low car. It was about 4 inches off the ground.
Right.
Set up just like a late model basically, other than the engine package. And somebody come up beside me and want to vroom on the interstate.
At 180?
No.
Get out of his way.
No. It wasn't no rash rambler thing. No, I mean, I did that all by myself. I picked a nice, clear spot of road. Anyway, when I'd be traveling 60, 65 down the interstate, somebody come up with a little hot rod, you know, brr, 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 and they'd come up beside me and they'd, you know, clear the pipe type thing. I'd take a look. There's this little neat switch that a Plymouth GTX only certain models have, called an air grabber. You flip the switch, section of hood this wide, this long, lifts up 8 inches off, and now it creates ram air directly into carbs. 6-pack.
I've seen them.
Yeah, I've never seen that particular feature, but I know that the 6-pack.
And there's a lot of people that just say, "Oh, okay."
Never mind.
I've seen the air grabber. I've been to a car show and I've seen the air grabber, but they have it up while they're showing the car.
It's sweet. You know, because you got linkage down below that.
My 158 Mazda RX-8 Daytona. That's the fastest. That's it.
I did do 170 at Charlotte in one of the race cars.
Did you?
Yeah.
See, I never. Well, we only ran 2/3 of the old. We had to go back to the middle.
146 you went to. Sorry, Mom, we're not going to do that.
Richard Petty driving experience, you can really get to go fast.
Country road to Mississippi.
I did that out at Vegas, and I think they say we were doing like 140 or something, 135, 140, which is, again, 140 is cruising. At Vegas, ooh, look at the palm trees. This is cool. Wow. I'm in Vegas, man. How fast we go? 140? Wow, it felt like 75, you know?
Yeah,
You're in a
that's
cup
just
car
it.
in Vegas doing 140.
Well,
What do you, 40 miles an hour off what a real car
Actually,
does?
since the speed, the Langley thing, I ran the truck at Hickory just as a test, and that was, it seemed a lot faster than that.
Oh, yeah. Well, Hickory, you got that, what is it, the straight back straight and the...
Every time you speed up, like, you know, you get to the turn, you're like, oh, I hope it sticks, you know? You see that turn coming, it just goes like that, and you're like, oh, crap.
And then you get one of these little bull rings like Ace or...
Yeah.
East Carolina was always the one that was like, you come in a back straight and it's just the wall's flat in front of you.
Like, oh.
Wow. Maybe we should use both feet on the brakes for this.
Please stick.
We're getting way off track, but that's okay.
We're talking about racing. We're right on track, aren't we?
Yeah.
That's right.
Where were we?
We were talking about
The cup race.
The cup race.
The cup race. The cup race. Junior turned 4. I'm proud of him. He did good.
Yeah.
He did good. I'm proud of the whole team.
I will say, I really felt bad for Junior, but I thought it was funny that both National Guard cars lost turn 4 on last lap of both races.
Junior's was just a little less
It is
expensive.
Memorial Day.
I have a bad sense of humor, but I thought that was
But
funny.
I don't know. He finally
There's irony in
what did he
that.
do?
Yeah.
Cross at 8th or 12th, something like that.
It was like 6 or something, because they had a few cars passing him. He's somewhere up there.
He didn't have as much speed carryover.
Yeah, he ran out in the middle of turn 4, so he didn't have that speed coasting to the line. The Indy car
last
could at
squirt
least
wasn't
hit the
awful.
gas and go kind of thing.
Well, and
Staying down the right side of the car.
3,000 plus pounds slows down faster than
Yes, it does.
a 3-wheel Indy car.
And then Hamlin ran out too, because Hamlin was right behind Junior, and they didn't even mention that really. But it was Junior and Hamlin. They ran out the same spot on the track, and those Hamlin's falling behind Junior and Harvick and
Well, didn't somebody else run out like right on the restart just before that?
Casey Kane.
Casey Kane ran
As soon as
out.
they said green, and Kane ran out of gas.
And then that caused chaos.
That should have
Burton
been
went sliding down through the
that
grass.
should have been a big wreck. And
They
a
got
lot
lucky.
of people had controversy on that because if there was anybody else in the lead, they would have waved the caution flag. But no, Junior had the lead and was running off with it, so they left the green. And they shouldn't have thrown the yellow, so they made the right call. But I can see where they're going with that, but at the same time, it's one of those on-the-spot judgment calls you have to make, and there's nothing on the track. There's no reason to put it.
The race ends
So
here,
it's not because
and the wreck is beyond it.
There's nothing there. I mean, it's just people were mad.
Oh well.
Pretty much.
You know, what can we say? We were also, I know we didn't run through our guest list because basically we were going to talk a lot about racing tonight. We were going to have Bobby Dale Earnhardt try to be on here, except he couldn't make it. He originally was going to try to. But we do have Ricky Moxley, I believe that's his name. He'll be calling in at 7:45, and we'll have some fun with him.
Okay. Well, come on.
So, well, if we got a quick couple minutes break, let's listen to another one of our friends.
There we go.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
No. When it's playing him, it's directly on that. Ricky Moxley. Okay, welcome back, everybody.
Hey, we're back.
Damn, we're fast.
That was quick.
Who needs commercials? We do it quick.
For everybody that's figuring this out, we're testing our software. We think we got most of the glitches out of it, and that's what we're going to start doing. Some of our commercials and stuff like that for our sponsors, and be able to plug them. Throw it right in there, and some of our friends that do the video bites. We have another one here from Trevor Bain after a little while here.
That's technical talk. He's getting fancy with the show.
Pretty much.
Yo, baby.
Let her in the lookout.
Right.
NBC, I'm coming to take your asses over.
Hey, don't mention the other guys.
Okay, other guys. I'm
This
coming
is PC Doctors TV.
Pitwall Productions.
Pitwall Productions.
There you go.
There you go.
Am I in trouble for mentioning PC Doctors?
Nope, you're not in trouble. It's right there behind you.
Oh, that's good. Well, we'll mention it again. Did you have your big computer sale out here last week? Or are we waiting for that or what? We're supposed to be a big weather pending computer sale out front.
Yeah, we've got like about 250 computers. We're trying to make sure everything's all ready and load them out there. $69 for a decent computer. Get on the internet.
$69 for, I can't get a good video game for that. That's awesome. $69 for a good
$69.
And that's what? You get the whole deal with that? Or?
Well, you basically, it's the computer, because a lot of people already have a monitor and a keyboard.
Yeah, I don't throw that part out the window when it stops.
Yeah, I mean,
just the box.
Yeah, just the box. If people actually need a monitor, we'll have 17-inch, the regular monitors for $5.
A lot of people actually also have TVs that double as monitors.
That's right.
I know people that use them.
Can't beat that. I should get a couple of them, and then I could set up NASCAR because I can't do it online, but I can do it right in my house. We get a couple of games, some steering wheels, some pedals.
I can set you up, and
we can put each other in different rooms, and we can lock the door. So, like, if I stuff you in the fence, you can't get in and beat me up.
You can try to beat me on iRacing.
They can't get on iRacing because that's what he's talking about. He ain't got good internet.
Because I live in the woods next to the airport.
You know, it takes a couple of stone's throws to get to his house. You know.
No guys that you do right by with.
Are my ears ringing, or somebody important calling in?
Hopefully important.
That sounds important. Let it ring and build suspense. What else do you have? So you're out of Langley over the weekend? Did you go out
I was there Saturday night.
You watch the USA Race?
Yes. One main reason I went out there, I wasn't sure if I was going to go because I was coming back from the job thing. And I saw they were going to be there. I was like, oh, I'm going.
We'll talk about that more in a moment.
Gotcha.
Right now we have Raj.
We have Ricky Moxley. Ricky, tell us a little. You're the first time you're going to be on the show, and I know there's a lot of people that haven't heard of you. We want to make sure they get to know who you are and where you came from and where you're hoping to go.
Well, I appreciate that. Ricky Moxley, I'm down here for South Florida, West Palm Beach. Been running modified trucks down here for quite a while now, and trying to make our way to the Camping World Truck Series, and we'll actually be debuting our first race July 29th at ORP.
Cool.
Good place to start.
Yeah. Excited.
Very good. Who's so is it your own team? Are you driving for someone? Or who's your sponsor? Anybody want to plug on that? Or tell us about your ORP.
Come on, this is your time to shine. You gotta talk. You gotta
put it out there, buddy.
Talk it up, bud.
Now we got a lot of great people behind us. Carson Racing's been helping. New Generation Motorsports. They're who got us there. You know, Bobby Daughter Racing, obviously, and Johnny Chapman. There's just so many people that I like to thank. Without them, we couldn't be doing this.
So have you guys had have you got some testing in, or where are you at right now? Tell us about your truck preparations. And when is what's the date of the ORP race?
July 29th at ORP. This all just came together this weekend up at Charlotte. Everything happened so fast, it's still going.
Excellent.
Goes, we're working on that right now. Hopefully go do some testing at Caraway, New Smyrna Speedway down here in Florida. And just try to get a little bit of track time in before we go out there.
Now, Joe, Ricky, I don't know if you caught that.
I heard the modifieds.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm a modified racer myself. Do you run the Florida mods? Or you run like a tour style mod?
Now we run the Florida mods. I wish we had the tours down here. We've got two classes that we run. We got what we call big motor modified with SP2 motors on 8-inch tire, which that's a rush. And then we've got what we call an E-mod down here with roughly 400 horsepower on 8-inch tire. Just kind of an economical class.
Well, what we race here is kind of a mud of the two. It's not quite the SB2 motor of the of your big motor mods, but it's more than, it's like a 500 plus horsepower steel-headed abominated 2-barrel that we race here. It's more than enough for that little tire.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you have all that tire that holds you on the ground.
Oh yeah. It's it definitely teaches you throttle control, which I would think is really got to be a big advantage to you moving up into a bigger, heavier vehicle like that with a lot more power.
It is. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm used to driving something with a lot of horsepower and lightweight. Now I'm going to a lot of horsepower, heavyweight. So I'm hoping to get acclimated with it quick.
Well, realistically, I mean, if you're running the big motor mods down there, you're probably running the same motor that's in the truck, no?
Well, theoretically, I mean, to be honest with you, I hate to sound stupid, I'm not sure what the horsepower range is in those trucks. I know right now we're running roughly 700 horsepower in these cars down here.
Right.
It's pretty close to that.
Pretty close to that, and it weighs a lot more. Stopping it's going to be the new adventure, I would think.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get in the gas, it's going to be heavier, it's going to have more tires, so it's probably going to be easier on the right foot, and then when you get the other end of the straight, it's going to go back to that time and space thing we were talking about. Like, oh my God, how do you stop this thing?
The pedals are pretty stiff, I will tell you that. At least the one I drove was. I did test it
Hold
myself.
it. Brakes are for pussies, guys, okay?
Brakes are for guys that want to step on the gas again.
Oh. I used to just let the engine slow me down, get going into the corner just right before you get in there, put it in, let off the gas, let the engine slow you down.
What's late model stock car, right?
Yeah.
Well, late model stock, a smaller motor, bigger tire, aero. Yeah, I raced late model too. When they were right, you just kind of let off the gas, feather the brake a little bit, and you'd swap ends and come back down the other straightaway. But I mean, the difficult part of a late model stock car is you have to keep that momentum. You have to hit that corner exactly right, because there's no real picking it back up. Modified, it's all about trying to keep the back tires on it. And then a truck, I'm not even going to begin to venture what that is. Steve, you've got more experience than I do in something like that.
I'll tell you that.
I don't doubt you on that.
Yeah, I will say, at Hickory, I didn't have to go past that car, and I was told not to actually by people.
Hickory and the modified, I found the same thing.
Yeah, and a lot of people want to get in there and just punch it and go full bore. No, that's a bad idea.
Because all it's going to do is just spin your tires. I mean, when Joe Gato was running his truck, his back Craftsman truck, and he brought it out to Langley, and I was out there one day, and all he did was just light the tires up from turn 3 to turn 1 and turn 2 to turn 3.
It looks cool for a couple of laps.
Well, I mean, you left some stripes there like forever, but I mean, God, you're just doing nothing but wearing out the tires, and you're not really testing the truck to the potential.
How's the steering on modified? Is it stiff or not?
Well, on modifieds, it all depends. Do you run in your modified? What do you run for steering ratio in yours? Do you run a quickener, or do you run 12-to-1 box, or?
No, it's a 12-to-1 sweet steering box.
That's what I've gone to myself this year. And now my cars last year I ran like a 16-to-1 box with a 2-to-1 reduction, so I made like an 8-to-1 box. And basically, for those that are listening at home, it's just how fast your car steer.
Yeah.
A quickener type box is like driving a go-kart at a fair, and then a 12-to-1 box is like driving your standard performance. Yeah, it's your standard performance car. Anything you might drive, like Camaro or probably a Mustang, is probably very close to a 12-to-1
That's
box.
pretty much from what I don't know about the modified stuff, but the truck was pretty much like you said, performance right. Surprisingly easy to turn. What I thought it was gonna be stiff or something, kind of like the go-kart, or at least feel it. I didn't really feel it.
Yeah, no, not a lot. Your sensation in the car is probably more through
Power steering.
Well,
I know. Power. I realized it once I turned.
Your feel of the front tires is more kinesthetic
Like,
than actually in your hands, like a manual box car.
Power steering works good.
Right, yeah, a lot more sensitive.
You'll enjoy it a lot driving the truck for sure.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I've been, like I said, been working on this for a while now. Finally got the deal together, and we're looking forward to doing some truck racing.
You'll like the responsible throttle too.
I'm looking forward to all that.
So for those of us that are going to watch this race and look for you, what can you tell us about this truck? What's the main sponsor on it? What number, color? Help us pick you out.
I do know that Army Corps Engineers is coming on board. We're doing a campaign with them. As far as the colors, I got to tell you, I don't have a clue. I don't have.
Oh, you're my kind of guy.
Whatever they color, they paint it.
As long as I get to drive it, I don't care what the color is.
It's,
None of that That's all easy stuff.
No numbers or anything either?
You know, I don't know. I know Bobby Daughter runs the 07.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we're going to run the 07, the 08.
We'll just look for Ricky Moxley.
Well, I was trying to make it easy, you know. Some of us just like to look at the pictures. We don't like reading the names go by. But it's like, yeah, you can't see what number it is from the inside.
Hey, when you do get there, make sure you make good friends with Timothy Peters. He's a good friend of ours on the show as well. Tell him that we all said, you know, that we told you to come visit him, so he won't be so mean to you.
That'll be great. Yeah, I figured I'd go and shake every one of their hands and tell them I'm just there to learn.
Now, I will say, any of the testing y'all are doing, are anything similar to ORP? Because it's such a unique track in itself.
You gotta run off.
Yeah. Actually, I was talking when I was at Charlotte this week. I got to spend a lot of time with Jeff Bodine, and he was giving me a lot of pointers on the track.
That's a good coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. I tell you, class act, that guy. As far as testing somewhere similar, I don't believe so. I know New Smyrna's nothing like it. I know Caraway's nothing like it.
Yeah. It's hard to use the response of the track.
I'm not all that familiar with ORP. What's the what size
You
banking?
run the high line.
Yeah.
What's the progressive banking?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're up against the wall most of the time. That's your sweet area to be.
Almost like an Orange County.
You can run both if you're hooked up, but a lot of I've seen some people run high and then dive off low.
You try to get the run. Well, with that
Yeah.
progressive banking, it gives you the options. And what's nice about a progressive banking track is if the car's not working the way you want it to work,
It'll help.
you've got options. Will
Exactly.
banking help it? Use the banking on the entry, use it on the exit.
And he'll see that. You'll see that in the race. You'll
Move it around.
3 wide everywhere. Do people diving to the inside? It's fun to watch. You can't imagine being in it.
Yeah, Jeff was telling me this weekend, Jeff Bonine was telling me his words exactly were, it's a very aggressive track.
Yep.
Give me something to look forward to.
Yeah, there's going to be quite a few guys that we know that are going to be out there running already. So
I know just from watching, it's one of the more, like he said, aggressive races. A lot of beating banging going on. A lot more. They seem to be racing hard than a lot of other places that they go. So.
That's why I like the truck series. I mean,
Exactly.
It's kind of good short track racing. I mean, I like the short tracks a whole lot better than I do as I call it cookie cutter tracks, but I'll race them nevertheless.
Short tracks build character,
Yes.
especially over the years of not paving it.
Great.
Well, it really is. I mean,
Yeah.
when a touring series comes in there, it kind of puts everybody on an even playing field because you've got what looks like the right groove, what is the right groove, and where the potholes are, or the bumps, or the dips, or the whoops, or and then you just the aggregate of the asphalt of being able to know your tires and know how far you can run this thing at what pace.
that's right.
Again, you have that big tire, so you can, whatever bumps you have or potholes, you can go right over them.
Well, it depends on the track. I've seen some where you can lose the entire vehicle in it.
Holy crap.
That's bad.
Yeah, they were bad. We didn't go back to them, but
You ever run down at, I guess West Palm Beach, you ever run at Five Flags down there?
I have not. I've been there before. It's the one track in Florida I have not run on.
Okay, that's the one I grew up around, so
Yeah.
I love watching modifieds run there.
Yeah, here we're actually going to run the modifieds that I want to say it's the Snowball Derby this year and this coming year in the modifieds.
Okay.
Or would it be the next year? It's the next race they got. The next Snowball Derby, we're going down there and running some modified races.
Awesome.
should be December, I think.
Yep,
Yeah.
last week of December.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was this year. We're looking forward to doing that as well.
Around the 28th, 29th timeframe.
Be basically just last races you'll have to go. I think what Joanna Long won.
She did. She did.
She really
She's
great.
won down there. She's really good down
She won
there.
down there.
She's a really good shoe.
There's a lot of big names come from down there.
She won the last one last year.
Yeah, I think Kyle Busch, Stephen Wallace, a lot of those guys always run it. Matt Kenseth, you see a lot of big names here.
Now,
We get a few of our modified guys.
Hey,
guys
there,
that are
there you go. You'll have Joanna Long will probably be running out there with you too. So you got somebody local to Florida.
Yeah, there you go.
I think she's running full time now in the truck series.
Good.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure about that.
I'll have to give her a call.
She's back and forth between the trucks and Nationwide right now. I know she had full time for the trucks, but I don't know if that's still going or not.
Well, if I ever land a full-time ride in trucks and Nationwide interrupts the schedule,
Yeah, I don't think I can complain
I
too
don't think I
much.
can complain about my problems at that point.
I've seen her in the Nationwide races lately.
Right. That's funny.
So is that your next event with the trucks, or are you going some modified racing locally? Are you currently tied up in any points battles or anything, or what's going on right thus far in the season?
Right now, I'm pretty much halfway through our season right now. I'm not really points racing because I run 3 different classes down here in Florida. We run what we call Pro Truck Series. We have a truck series down here with DD4 Craig motors in them, and then so I got the 2 the modified classes that we run. This coming Friday night in Orlando Orlando Speedway, we got a 50-lap big motor modified race. So we'll be doing that this weekend, and then next weekend we have an E-Mod race. So we're gonna keep our seat time going until we can make it to do some testing.
So you run separate cars for those races, or you just do a motor swap?
Well, I got 2 left-handers modified. They're identical cars, they just got different motors.
And that's the whole difference between E-Mod and the big mod down there, right?
That's it. That's the only difference. We run the same rear end, same transmission, tires, wheels, shocks, spring package.
That's easy to remember.
The only difference is the motors.
Well, it's easy to keep spare parts then.
Really?
It's easy to keep spare
And
parts.
you've always got a backup car, unless in the case of motor failure.
Right. Right. Well, we have a lot of fun with it down here.
Swapping engines is usually about a 30-40 minute deal anyway, isn't it?
Depending on how prepared you are for it. Yeah. We did one at North Wilkesboro last year, and it didn't go that quickly. Well, it took us 2.5 hours, I think, to find an engine crane. We pondered the tree thing. It was bad.
You always carry a come along.
You need a tree in the infield of North Wilkesboro. Have you been there? The scoreboard looked like it'd fall down if we hooked to it.
Right.
Oh goodness.
I know you moved up to the truss. Are you
Boy
hoping
Scouts
it
you are.
progresses higher than that?
Adapt and overcome.
You know, to be honest with you, I'd like to run some nationwide races to market, but always, the trucks are always where I wanted to be. I mean, I'd like to do some tour modified stuff. I got some good friends up in Connecticut, Christopher, and them boys up there, but it's just not feasible.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with staying in the trucks. The trucks are fun. I'd honestly probably rather be in the trucks than any of the others. I'll take anything, but you got Rick Crawford, Tom Bodine, Horner Day, the guys that always run it. So I mean, you have good competition there.
And that's the thing. You do got good competition. I mean, for the most part, the crowds are pretty decent. You get to meet some good people, and that's where the sponsor that we have, that's the direction they wanted to go.
And it's a big family. They all look after each other too.
Right.
Now, what about the ARCA Truck Series?
We looked into that about 2 years ago, and it didn't work for us. I mean, we were close. Our engine builder, Chucky, with CC Engines out of Ohio, builds a lot of the engines for the ARCA Truck Series, and we looked at going that direction, and it just didn't work out. We were close, but it didn't fit our program.
Huh. Okay.
We'll take the the Camping World Truck Series.
Well, here.
That one worked out for us.
Yeah, that's a hell of a consolation prize.
Yeah, that's funny how it works.
Well, tell you what, hang on just a quick second. We're going to throw a quick hello from somebody else, speaking of Truck Series.
I'm Timothy Peters, driver of the number 17 Toyota NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Peters, we got a little canned message from him.
It'll be on the show whenever you go and watch it.
Great.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Thank you, Timothy. I told all these guys, I said, hey, we're going to take it, if we start talking about you, we're going to throw a little dippy thing up there, so they all do the, hey, welcome to Let's Talk Racing, or thank you for listening. It's pretty cool.
It works.
Yeah, man. It's a lot of the people we get to know and meet and have fun with, whether on the show or in person.
I'm impressed at the people you get on the show. Everybody's getting a lot of big names. Why the hell am I here? Why the hell am I?
So you get to meet them.
It works for me. I just, I'm always talking to some truck guy or some legend like Chocolate Myers last week. I'm like, wow, this is great.
Oh yeah, I mean, and the thing I like is we pull some of the really unusual things out too.
Yeah.
We had one night on here the lady that makes almost all
The fuel
of
tanks,
the fuel cells. Okay, the bladders for the fuel
Right.
cells. Another night we had the girl the window net lady.
Makes all the window net lady.
The window net lady.
There's the title. Is that what she goes by? Or?
She's all-
Safety equipment manufacturer, I think.
There you
maybe,
go.
Elaboration on that?
No. She makes these custom for like the cup drivers.
Oh, for like the super speedway stuff?
Everything. Tony Stewart will say, the people from the shop will call up and say, hey, I need da 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 da. And okay, what size you need it? Here it is. And she hand makes everything. Huh?
There are a lot of important people on there.
That's why theirs never flap like mine does.
Did Jeff put on?
You gotta hook me up with the window net lady.
Hey, what was it? Leach was on here.
Mike Leach.
Mike Leach and Matt Mullins. They both wanted to. Hey, I'm gonna call you and get some ordered.
Yeah.
But so anyway, sorry about that.
Tangent, we do that often. Sorry.
We just have fun with it.
I won't even begin to get into the NASCAR officials, and I like to get a couple of those guys on and have crew members from some of the either truck, nationwide, or cup teams, and then let them talk to each other on the show.
Whole different.
Talk about some good conversations. I mean, the crew members, they get to have the last laugh because they'll sit there and say, yeah, we get to do all the stuff that you got to try to figure out how to find.
That's a sign of a good crew.
Oh, God, I tell you what.
Are y'all only running ORP? Is it right now?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Are y'all only planning on running ORP, or are you working for more too, or just the one right now?
We're working, we got ORP signed, and we were actually trying to do the Martinsville race this year.
Because I know you said that was your debut race. I know you had others, planned or scheduled after that.
The plan is next year to run full time, but that's not for sure yet.
Yeah, you gotta see how it goes.
Right. I'd like to try to get 3 or 4 in this year and possibly keep our rookie status for next year is the plan.
I got you.
Get the bugs out of it now, and then that's a very good plan.
Just take your time, be patient,
And then hopefully get in for that whole season next year.
Go all out next year.
Right. Yep. Live and learn.
Exactly. No need to push it now. Just save the equipment and just get your laps.
Good advice. That's right.
Yeah, a lot of people you see do that and it works out.
Right. Yeah, you can't go set the world on fire.
Exactly.
No, that's usually a bad plan.
Like to as race car drivers, but sometimes they don't work.
And I know you watched the races. It was a big topic of our discussion before, and I don't want to take the limelight off of you at the moment, but did you catch the end of the Indy 500?
Oh yeah.
I did.
That's a perfect
Penny,
example.
for your thoughts.
Perfect example right there. We overexcited.
I tell you, last lap that was crazy.
I felt for him.
Yeah.
I tell you what, as soon as I saw him starting to go up to go around him, I said,
No
what
way.
are you going up there for?
I knew he was too
And then
high.
all of a sudden, I noticed the tires started to skip, and all of a sudden, smackaroo.
Remember finishing second though, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
I will say, at least it was the 4th time in a row that they've gotten second for that same team, same car. So I mean, they're bound to get one.
Right.
Bridesmaid syndrome.
Yeah.
I'll take it at Indy.
We also have on the line, Ricky, Matt Mullins, who is also one of the guests, or rather one of the hosts here. Tonight he gets to be a guest because he's calling in. He's up in, are you up to Kansas already?
I am in Kansas City, Missouri.
Let's go out, Ken.
How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
I'm missing you, buddy. It's like, Steve's doing a great job, but me being here without you, it's like Tom without Jerry or Bert without Ernie, man. It's just not the same.
I miss the Martin and Lewis act that we have. I think it's great. And I enjoy having Joe on the phone or having you on the show. And you need to come down more often.
Well, I have fun. It's always a good time. So you out in Kansas City right now?
Yep. I'm in Kansas City. I'm actually on the road, on the back road here, heading to a friend's house for a couple hours tonight.
How do they feel about that? I mean, I know they had some really terrible weather out there, and it's gone to worse because you're there now. I love you, buddy.
Well, the weather, it actually rained here, and if you look at all the weather channel, it says it's supposed to be sunny. So the weather's changing about every 5 minutes here right now.
Oh, about the same as it does here then.
Yeah, I wish it had changed here. It's been, 99 all day.
I've been outside it all day.
Yeah, I talked to a friend of mine earlier today, and they said the bank's at 140 down there in Newport News.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I believe it.
Yeah.
So you got to check. You already got your credentials, or is that till tomorrow or something?
Doing that tomorrow for the truck race. Kelly Hale, PR, thank you very much. Going to the truck race at Kansas Speedway. And then that night, we're going to go to Lakeside to see the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars.
Wow.
That'll be nice.
That'll be fun.
For your race weekend. Now, Ricky, by the way, is he's a bona fide driver, just like Joe up here. So they've been just really having fun.
Matt's been in there.
Yeah, Matt's been doing a little modified hoopties anyway.
I've seen him out there.
Where did you run at?
Down.
Down here in Florida, man. Down where? I can barely hear him.
He's in Florida.
He runs out in Florida, New Smyrna, Orlando,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
bunch of others. I can't remember. E-mods, he runs those SB2 mods they have down there, the big bad Florida mods.
Oh, okay.
And he's making the move to trucks in July 29th, the ORP.
Yeah, you'll have to let us know if you're going to go to Martinsville, because we usually do try to make the Martinsville race.
That'd be great.
Yeah, but I want to go with that one this time.
We actually are going to be there July 4th as well with the Marshall Tucker Band. They've got a big concert going on there, and we're actually going to take the truck up there for that concert to kind of do a little publicity.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
That ought to be a lot of fun.
I'm sure fans, people
And
there
no
will
pressure,
like
right? Just hang out, have a good time.
That's right.
Rock and roll, that's right. Man, that would be a good time.
Now how old are
Imagine
you?
that, bringing a pickup to a Marshall Tucker concert.
Really?
It just seems right. I wonder why. It's a good fit.
A really loud one, but
Right.
Whatever.
how old are you, Ricky?
I am old. No, I'm just kidding. I'm 40. I just turned 40.
Okay. For some reason I was thinking you were a youngster.
He's still young to me.
Yeah, well, he's got you beat, me beat, and Matt beat, so.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, you know that you've just become my inspiration. You've never run trucks before, right? 40 years old, getting your first shot at it. I'm only 2 years behind. I'm not too bad. There's still hope.
There you go. Go for it.
And if he goes big time, maybe I can drive his modified for him.
There you go. Maybe.
By the way, Joe, good run Saturday night. I don't know if you've talked about it yet, but you finally had a decent run, and it looks like the car's getting better.
We did. We had a really good run Saturday night. The car was great for like 15, 20 laps, and it started to fade a little bit. We couldn't quite keep it, but it was good to have a top 5 finish, pretty much in sight of the leaders instead of being the 6th place car and replacing the back bumper.
Exactly.
So yeah, all except for that last lap in traffic there, where we have to replace a lot of suspension parts now.
What happened?
Oh, you didn't see that? White flag was out. I went to come around a lap car. Looked like he left me room. He did leave me room, and then in the middle of the back straight, he moved up. And 2 control arms, ball joints, tie rods, the rear's bent. Yeah, he
both rims.
just squished me to the wall.
Was it at the 0?
No.
That was earlier. That was in turn 4, going through turn 4, went up and.
No, I'm not. I mean, he's a good guy, and he just honestly, for some reason, he didn't know I was there. He didn't realize it. It wasn't intentional. Yeah, and I'm not gonna. I mean, his spotter came over and apologized immediately, but it's racing. I'm not gonna sit here and bash him on the show. It was a racing. It was an accident. There's no hard feelings to it, and just hopefully he learned from his mistake. So we'll patch it back together, move on, go back racing.
That's it.
Still running good.
Yeah, well, sometimes you got to tear these things up a little bit. Make sure you take everything apart, find all the binds and the burrs, and make them a little better, improve them.
He said, how come this isn't the way it's supposed to be? Maybe that's why we haven't been running right. You straighten it out. Next thing you know.
To quote Richie Evans, he said every once in a while you got to knock the clip off. If you put a new clip on it, it runs like a new car.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. We didn't go quite that bad, but we'll have quite a few new parts on it. Quite a few new parts on the car next race. But it's the way it goes. It's racing.
So, are you guys racing this weekend? Coming weekend?
No, I got the weekend off, and it's good. It's our first weekend off for, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks now, I think. So we needed it.
Yeah, they got late model twin 50s, I believe, this weekend. Grand stocks are running, and I forget who else. Enduros again.
I think Legends are back this weekend.
Yep.
So I just wasn't shit about modifiers.
Yeah, no, we're probably working the shop for most of the day, and then I don't know, fire up the barbecue and have some adult beverages and just kick back and watch race. Who's racing this weekend? Somewhere? Anywhere? Got a night race? What am I watching Saturday night on TV?
Saturday afternoon, Kansas Speedway and Camping World Truck Series. Sunday is Kansas Speedway. Oh, Chicagoland is running Saturday too, running nationwide. And I think that's a little bit later in the evening.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll have one before the other.
Usually they follow the cut.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure that I think Chicagoland's got white, so I think they're running second.
Okay. Good. Well, I got something to watch then.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be good that nationwide Kyle Busch won't be there. Because they'll probably be running the truck.
Depends on which one he
I
picks.
think he's running the truck this weekend.
But if he runs the truck, then he won't be running nationwide.
And he won't be running nationwide. Let's see if he can go over 128 miles an hour.
We already went through that one already again.
But it's still funny.
Oh, it is.
And I still think the funny part, I don't know if you heard, Ricky, that Denny Hamlin actually tweeted to him about the car because he had already test drove it. And he just and Denny didn't get caught, and it just wound up being Kyle being the one who got caught.
Dude, you gotta try this.
I didn't hear about that. Oh, there was a little antagonizing going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those, oh man, this car is sweet, you gotta try to come check this sucker out. You know?
You don't think you made the phone call?
Yeah,
hey, this is going to be your guy coming down the road doing about 140 in a minute. You're going to want to wait for him.
All right, I just think they were all driving down the same road, and somebody got pissed off and had this car zipping up and down the road at 100 plus miles an hour and called up the local sheriff and said, hey, you got to stop this mess. Guess what? Kyle, you rolled the dice and it came up snake eyes.
Well, yeah, and that's what could have happened. So.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
Well, anyway, guys, I got to get going here. I at least want to call in and say hi to my Jerry Lewis partner there.
You didn't think you were going to call in without getting your chops broken a little, at least.
So, and we will see you all. Hopefully, I'll be back for the show next Wednesday, and y'all have fun. Good luck to and I'm driving down the road. I can't remember his name. Good luck to ORD on his truck race. And tell him I'm there with the old timer brigade with him. That'd be great.
All right, man. Good to hear from you, buddy. Enjoy the weekend.
You too. Y'all take care.
You too, buddy.
All right, bye.
All right.
Who was that, Matt, we lost?
Whoever's still on the phone, say hi.
Well, I got to drop one first.
There we go.
Ricky should still be there.
Still there, Ricky?
Still there, Ed?
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay.
Cool beans. I pushed the right button. Again. Yay, team.
How are we doing on time, Roger? We getting down to unwind and give Ricky a chance here to plug whatever last.
He can do whatever he wants. I told him we were starting him at 7:45, and he could talk as long as he wanted.
Okay, the floor is yours.
So that's great. I just want to everybody thank you for all their support. Appreciate New Generation Motorsports and Horse and Racing for putting all this together. And I look forward to doing a whole lot of racing and possibly getting back on the show again soon.
Anytime.
Cool
We'll
beans.
be looking for you.
Yep. I've got your number, and you've got mine, so it makes that easy to get in hold of each other.
I always watch that race too. So.
I'll do it. Please do, and we'll definitely stay in touch with y'all.
No problem.
Very good. Look forward to keeping track of how you're doing, and maybe one of these days we'll rub wheels out there in the modifieds.
I like that.
I look forward to it, buddy.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Appreciate it.
You're
Have a
welcome.
good
Good
night.
luck to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice guy.
Yep.
It's
Cool.
motivating. I thought I hit 40. You know what? When I hit,
I wouldn't have guessed.
I always said when I hit 30, I'll give it up. If I haven't made it by the time I'm 30, I'll give it up. And I hit 30, I'm like, I'm not trying to sound conceited, but I'm winning a lot of races. I really shouldn't give this up, you know? So I can keep going. I'll push it till I'm 40. You know, when I hit 40, I was like, I'm still winning a lot of races. Maybe I should keep going.
Oh, their guy is older than me still racing, okay?
Yeah, I know. But
I'm going to throw one at you. Morgan Shepherd.
I know. I know. But, you know, it's at some point, you know, you race the local tracks and you're successful there. Every driver has his aspirations to move up, quit the day job and go full time. And you know, how far do you go? At what point do you say, you know, enough is enough? Do you wait?
So you're not having fun of it.
Do you wait till your crew chief has to take your walker from you to get in the car, and then you go out there and run last? You know, when do you say enough is enough? And I don't have the answer to this question.
Well, here's the very
but I know
easy,
40 wasn't it for me.
Very easy answer.
Yeah.
As long as you're having fun, do it. When it starts being no longer any fun, that's when you get out.
Yeah, well, that's good advice. That's good advice. That makes a lot of sense.
As long as you got the sponsors behind you and they're enjoying you. I mean, yeah. Mark Martin still cranking out.
I was at his place. I'd still be going too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's winning. He's running good. He's winning races. He's living the dream.
Still wants to go.
Now, I mean, a lot of guys at that level of racing eventually get to the point where you've raced your races, and it stops becoming fun because you have your families, and cup guys are on the road a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that season effectively ends in November and begins in December.
Pretty much.
You know, because they
testing.
The last race runs what, beginning of November. You've got the banquet, which is end of November, December. What do you get, a couple of weeks off, and you're back testing.
Yeah, I mean,
well, yeah, I mean, like Rolex.
Racing in
if you change teams and sponsors, and you got press releases.
Sports car racing was we were back in testing at Daytona in December before Christmas. We were VIR the week before that, so it never really ended. You know, the position I'm in now, where I drive and manage the team, it's we wanted to go to the Snowball Derby, Snowball Classic down there in Florida, but it's like, our last race gets done in November, and then you're going to run that in December. At some point in time, you just need to shut down the operation and revamp.
But see, now here's where you got to get creative. Okay, if you're going to run a race and you don't have anything a week or two in front of it, turn it into a small vacation. Whether you tear up the race car or whether it does good, race is over with, go have fun.
Well, I mean, and that's a great way to do it. But the problem we run into is because we're racing at the level we're racing. I don't have any full-time guys, although we work full-time. In order for us to take a venture to a place like that, it takes several days. You got to coordinate that with all your crewmen. I got to get time off work. You got to get time off work. He's got to get time off work. We all got to get the same amount of time. Be able to take that time and go there. And then when you start looking at going to Florida, hotel rooms, obviously your budget drastically increases. And it's the burden on the team owner and so forth.
Hold it.
Plus, you're kind of now racing out
of your trailer is big enough.
Size doesn't matter, Raj. My team, I got to give my team owner a lot of credit because she plays the prices right. I mean, the truck is nice, the trailer's nice, the race cars are great. And I'll tell you what, I bet you we paid half for what everything is worth. When she bought the team originally, she found a guy going out. Take it away. Take it away, and he put a price tag on it that, obviously I can't say that, but the price tag was right. Yeah. It was definitely right.
Almost a steal.
It came with motors, tools, the whole bit. It was a great deal. You could have bought that and doubled your money.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't even sign the title. Just put it back out there.
Probably close to 3 cars.
2 and a big pit box.
See, the big pit box. Okay, not big, big.
It's a 48. It's a 48 footer.
I mean, the Cup guys are only doing what, 53s?
Yeah, but they go up too, so it's actually 106.
But anyway, my theory is if we push the cars out and put up the hammocks, you got a place to sleep.
Oh, we've slept in the trailer. Yeah. We've done that. We've done that.
I'm usually in the car.
Hey.
And the moral of the story, just like the show, is if you're not having fun with it, then go do something else. Right?
Yeah. The other thing too is develop friendships across the country.
Oh, absolutely.
I can go from here and go out to LA, and people I know, I can say, hey, I'm coming out, sorry to stay. Sure. You want to sleep at the house? You want to sleep on the boat?
Boat's house. You got a big trailer. Boat's house. It's like Elmer J. Fudd over here. I own a mansion and a yacht. Yeah.
I told you some of the things.
That's old school for you young folks.
But anywho, hope everybody had a good time as we did tonight, and like everybody come back and watch us next week on Let's Talk Racing, and we'll have a little bye-bye from a friend of ours, the Daytona 500.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Yeah, y'all can stand there, and then when it comes back, I'll hit the stop.